is Monday, October 12. Welcome to CGN News. The Caribbean community, Caricom, has criticized the ongoing arbitrary blacklisting strategy used by the European Union, the EU, on Caribbean countries. Caricom, in a statement, questioned the EU's unwillingness to document the progress made by member states at compliance with global standards, the CMC reports. The body also took issue with the use of ratings from other international agencies in decisions to blacklist a jurisdiction without consultation with the affected states. This, the statement said, negates the spirit of partnership that has characterized the relationship between Caricom and the EU. Barbados, the Bahamas, and Trinidad are included in the October 1 EU list of 22 countries identified as high risk for money laundering and terrorist financing. Barbados says it is closely monitoring cases of dengue fever in light of outbreaks in the region and increased numbers of suspected cases on the island. Several Caribbean countries have reported outbreaks this year, among them St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Guadeloupe and Martinique. Officials cite an increase of suspected and confirmed cases in the first 9 months of this year compared to the same period in 2018 and 2019. Figures released by the Health Ministry show 174 suspected cases with 6 laboratory confirmations from January to September 2020. No deaths have been reported. Caribbean Airlines is facing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit from a Guyanese man who was held at New York's JFK airport with more than 4 pounds of cocaine in his suitcase in 2018. According to court documents, in October 2018, Simeon Wilson, 50, traveled from Guyana to New York and was held and charged following the discovery of the cocaine in his luggage. However, Wilson, who had always maintained his innocence, had all the charges dropped 10 weeks after his arrest. The documents state that U.S. investigators concluded that his bag was tampered with while in the custody of the airline. Wilson wants Caribbean Airlines to pay him for his ordeal and its lapse of security that allowed the illegal items to be placed into his bag. In an interview with the New York Post, he said that although the charges were dropped, he is still forced to face questions at U.S. airports as his name remains flagged in their system. The Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, ECLAC, says the region is not likely to see a return to pre-COVID-19 growth rates before 2025. Addressing a high-level virtual meeting, ECLAC's Executive Secretary Alicia Barcena predicted that the crisis will be longer and deeper than expected. She said that given the uncertainty COVID-19 has created, it will take several years to be able to recover. Barcena stated that the private sector and regional integration must play a crucial role in the region's economic recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. Trinidad and Tobago has announced a minor relaxation of some measures aimed at curbing the spread of COVID-19. However, churches, restaurants and bars will remain closed until October 24. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said his administration was working towards preventing another lockdown, which would result in a financial burden and further cripple the economy. Rowley revealed that the first lockdown had been funded by borrowing. Latest figures issued by the Ministry of Health show that there are 5,043 positive cases of the disease, with 90 deaths. Overseas now, Mexican authorities on Saturday removed a statue of Christopher Columbus days before protesters planned to knock it down during events commemorating his arrival in the Americas. The Culture Ministry said the statue was removed from Reforma Avenue in Mexico City to facilitate restoration. Activists had organized a protest called "We're Going to Knock It Down" for Monday, October 12, the date marking Columbus's arrival in America in 1492. In Mexico, the date is commemorated as Dia de la Raza, Day of the Race, in recognition of the country's mixed indigenous and European heritage. Still in the region, Mexico's president asked Pope Francis in a letter released Saturday for an apology for the Catholic Church's role in the oppression of indigenous people in the Spanish conquest 500 years ago. President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said Spain and the Vatican should apologize to native people for the atrocities committed after the conquistadors arrived in Mexico in 1521. The Catholic Church played a key role as Spain colonized the Americas and spread its empire, setting up missions to convert indigenous people to Christianity. The president renewed the call as part of preparations to commemorate in 2021 the 500th anniversary of the arrival of Europeans in the Americas. Amy Coney Barrett, U.S. President Donald Trump's Supreme Court nominee, is to go before the Senate Judiciary Committee for what the BBC says could be a fiery confirmation hearing. The 48-year-old conservative jurist has vowed to judge legal cases impartially. Judge Barrett's nomination, so close to the November 3 presidential election, has sparked a political row between the Republicans and rival Democrats. Judge Barrett's approval would cement a conservative majority in the top court. Conservative-leaning justices would then hold a 6-3 majority. President Trump picked Judge Barrett to replace liberal Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who died last month, aged 87. A woman was beheaded in Saudi Arabia for practicing witchcraft and sorcery, the Interior Ministry said, prompting Amnesty International to call for a halt in executions there. An official statement said the woman was investigated before her arrest and was convicted of what she was accused of based on the law. In a statement issued on Monday, Amnesty International called the execution deeply shocking and said it highlights the urgent need for a halt in executions in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, an absolute monarchy, practices a puritanical version of Islam and is governed by Sharia or Islamic law. In the deeply conservative kingdom, sorcery, witchcraft, and blasphemy are all offenses that can be punishable by death. The Archdiocese of New Orleans has burned an altar on which a priest allegedly recorded himself performing sexual acts with 2 dominatrices. On Friday, Archbishop Gregory Aymond responded to community outrage over Reverend Travis Clark's behavior with a recorded statement shared online. He called the desecration demonic and deplorable. Clark, 37, was arrested after hosting an alleged threesome with 2 dominatrices at St. Peter and Paul Roman Catholic Church on September 30. The incident unfurled when they were caught by a passerby who noticed the church's lights were on after hours. The witness looked in the window and saw the scantily clad women in corsets and the priest partially clothed. Stage lighting, sex toys, and a cell phone on a tripod were also said to be on the stage. The authorities were called and all 3 people involved were charged with obscenity. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.